Hey guys, so today I want to talk about something that's really important to me, and that is being an artist. It's part of my life next to YouTube and school and like family, boyfriend, friends, etc. Being an artist is me. It's just who I am. And I am more specifically for art doing graphic design, and then I have like my Etsy store that I mentioned in a different video, linked below if you want to know more about that, and also link to the store below if you want to know more about that and just checking it out. But I mainly do graphic design. I also do drawing, painting, inking. Granted, I'm not super amazing at all of these things, but I like to work with all of these mediums, so I'm working on them. The thing about being an artist is that a lot of times our job isn't considered a job. Like, it is a regular 9-to-5 job very easily. You're still working. And a lot of people are probably, working. And I get it. It's not the same as heavily lifting or counting with numbers. In your opinion, it just may not be as important as knowing what your bills are or things like that. So this is what this video is for, is to talk about more about the art job. Mainly when it comes to graphic design for myself. I can't speak for every medium. I can give you a brief idea and I can talk about what I do. So when it comes to graphic design or anything really, graphic design is a lot of just brain work. So I will be sitting in front of this computer working on things and just working constantly. And the thing is, it's a lot of mental work. It's obviously just staring at the computer, working as much as possible. And that's it. And a lot of people look at that and say, you're not working as hard as the person next to you. And they may be doing the same amount of brain work, just different stuff. And to some people, making a design is not as hard as calculating numbers. It's wrong. It's just a different type of hard. But a lot of it is mental power. It's mentally focusing on an image in your brain and saying, this needs to go on this, it needs to blow up to this, it needs to look like this. It's a lot of work and calculation and figuring out and blowing up. And then there's the whole thing with printing. Is this color going to look like this when it comes on paper? Is it going to look like this? That's a whole nother thing. There's a lot that goes into thinking about your art. When it comes to the Etsy stuff, it's a little more physical work. You're taking things, you're putting them together, you're making something, and you get a few injuries. Just a few. I burned myself twice already. This one's pretty bad, actually. But you get injured. It's a little more physical. It's a little more gritty because you're taking things and you're putting it and making something. And people see that and they're like, that's art. Well, when I do my graphic design stuff, they don't view it as art. They just view it as I'm working on the computer. You have a lot of supplies. When it comes to the graphic design stuff, you do need your computer. This is your love of your life for graphic design. You also, if you need it, some people like it, I like it, you need a tablet, or like I have an app on my iPad that lets me use it like a tablet, and then you need a stylus, and then you need a connecting cord, unless it works with Wi-Fi, which mine doesn't like to, so, or for the Etsy, I need Halo supplies, I need drawing, I need pencils, I need pads of paper, painting, I need paper, I need paints, I need paintbrushes, inking, I need ink pens. You have so many supplies. Depending on what you're doing is how much supplies you need, and these all vary. Also, I need like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, pretty much anything. Bridge actually comes in handy. I need Adobe Suite. That costs money, believe it or not. It's an expensive thing to kind of get every month. So, I need those things though to work, to make my job work. I need to be able to use those things. When you think of art, they think of the beautiful mural that was done, or hospital paintings, or, you know, art galleries. And those are great. But a lot of times we don't view it as a job because they're in those kind of places. And like with graphic design, a lot of people don't view it as art even because the fact that it's used for posters, books, covers, CD covers, all that. But that is still art. If we didn't have art, we wouldn't have those posters, we wouldn't have billboards, we wouldn't have business cards, we wouldn't have anything that has any form of design on it. And we would have just like blank walls. If we didn't have art, we wouldn't have any color really to put on anything. Nothing would be bright and fun, or nothing would be painted, nothing would be drawn, nothing would be done. There would be nothing interesting to look at. And that's the thing with art, is that it's huge to look at. For us to, it's huge for us to look at, it's huge for us to design. If we didn't have design, if we didn't have art, we wouldn't have Pixar, we wouldn't have animation, we wouldn't have things like movies. That is a form of art. Oh, well, we would still have real life movies. Fine, okay, I'll give you that one. We wouldn't have animation though, because that is art. That is taking a drawing or a sculpture and putting it in a form that can move to bring you this movie. That is art. If we didn't have art, we wouldn't have half of the things we have when it comes to design things, wall hangings, movies. Why is art important to me besides it is kind of who I am? Art kind of is a way to find my center. If I'm feeling down, a lot of times art is a good way to express how I'm feeling. It's an extension of the artist. That is what art is, an extension of the artist. Whether an emotion, an idea, a previous thought, it's an extension of the artist. And if I'm not feeling happy, it's probably because I haven't done any art recently. If I haven't done any art recently, I am usually not happy. It's just it's part of my being, and it's really hard to like sit down and have people tell me art is not a thing. It may not be the same kind of importance as something else, like being a doctor, a pilot, any of that, but it's still important because the fact that we wouldn't have half of what we have. Consider when you look at art stuff, someone took time, effort, probably maybe got injured to make that and wanted to give it to you and have you love it to death. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Monday, and all social media links are down below. Otherwise, I'm gonna go. Love you guys.